Jai Hind and welcome to Dev Talks. This is Aadi Achinth. Thank you all for joining me. I apologize for being a minute late. We will be, Janan Shankar will be joining us in just a minute. Before he does, it's an interesting subject that we are starting up with today. It is a subject that I'm sure a lot of you are pondering about for the past some time with regards to the recent developments of U.S. Pakistan relations. We've seen some movement in that particular direction. We know the geopolitics of the world today is actually changing quite a bit. And what will be India's stand is something that we need to discuss. But before I do, guys, I'd like to just take this moment to thank all of you guys for being a part of this journey of Dev Talks. It's really encouraging to see so many comments, so many interactions from everybody, uh, and also it is very nice to get emails with regards questions and so on and so forth about the various subjects that I've covered here. Before I begin, and Jan Shankar is just going to join us in a minute, as I said, I'd like to request all of you guys to just please do check your like, check the please do hit the like button, check the subscription, and of course, yes, when you can, do uh, contribute to the Dev Talks effort with the way which is written at the bottom. And we have Jan Shankar with us. Sir, good evening.
Good evening and happy Dashra to you and everyone who's on the show. It
Sir.
signifies the victory of good over evil, and that's what we're going to discuss about.
Absolutely, sir. I was actually giving a short introduction with regards to the subject that we've got today. Of course, India has a big dilemma in front of it. We've had a dilemma right from the COVID 19 days, starting now from the Ukraine war, which started the oil dilemma, it moved on, and now we've got a dilemma right in our neighborhood as well. I mean, Pakistan, China, Pakistan, USA. There's a whole lot of equations which are coming up. How about an opening remark from your end, sir?
Yeah, see, we are going through a situation which is rather fluid, right? And internationally.
Hmm.
And, with this fluid situation, Ukraine started with Afghanistan war, the Ukraine war, Armenia, Azerbaijan conflict, Taiwan. A lot of equations are changing. Economies are getting hit, and you'll agree with me that uh, virtually there is a if you look at the international power equations, that's how it is. Um, Economic power leads to political power, and power leads to economic power. A lot of political power is built on economic power,
Hmm.
and a lot of military power is politics by other means. So there's a shift taking place. And I was just reading an article by Robert Kaplan. He says all the three major political great powers today, Russia, USA, and China, are are in a huge state of flux. And even he says that India is, coming up in some manner.
Hmm.
Uh, but then India has its own problems. India is now being forced to choose sides, which it can't. And I read a very interesting article today in the South China Morning Post, which said India is a friend to all and a friend to none, which means it has to toe its own line and it will toe
Okay.
its own line, right?
I read that.
So, right. So you have, and of course, Pakistan is a bloody enemy to all, and we'll be underwater. Right? But well, it's there. So, and we are the four of us: Pakistan, China, USA, and India are locked in a
Tango.
strange tango, a strange quadrilateral. If today's alignments you see, China and USA are daggers drawn with each other. India and Pakistan are daggers drawn with each other. So they form the four quadrilaterals with the chords. India and China at top and bottom. Sorry, India and USA at the top and bottom. Russia, China, and Pakistan, other two quadrilaterals. But China has an equation with Pakistan. I mean, and China has an equation with USA and with us. And there's a lot of interdependency, a lot of this thing. There's some shift going on. Understanding this is becoming an interesting thing. There's no point in saying, "Wow, why should USA go to Pakistan?" It'll go. Okay. So understanding these shifts, these interrelationships, USA with uh, relationship of USA with India, Pakistan, and China are shifting. China's
Hmm.
relationship with all three are shifting. Pakistan's relationship with all three are shifting. India's relationship with all three are shifting. So that's what we need to analyze.
So let's start with Pakistan. It's an interesting conundrum from being a big nobody today is being the Pakistani army chief is being given
Yeah,
color honors
yeah, 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 yeah,
In the
yeah.
America. Of course, we've had certain stuff which has happened. You've got the F-16 deal which has happened. The Americans were in the forefront talking about how bad the devastation in Pakistan has been. There's also news that Pakistanis are continually supplying Ukraine with 122 millimeter shells. So there is a bit of a shift with regards to U.S. Pakistan angle. Let's take that as the forefront because I
No,
think
look,
that will
no,
play.
that's the wrong way of looking at it.
Okay, sir.
Let me put it in perspective. We'll
Hmm.
start with Pakistan,
Okay.
but let's evaluate Pakistan, Pakistan, USA, Pakistan, China, Pakistan, India, and then we'll shift to the others.
Sure.
Okay, so let's look at Pakistan, USA. Uh, as far as I mean, now we have to look at it from Pakistan's point of view. I'm not looking at it from Indian point of view. So advantage Pakistan, where is it? It's gone good with USA. The chief is their chief is being given a lot of attention. They've got the F-16 spares from USA. Uh, they're um, the ambassador, American ambassador to Pakistan, has shot his mouth off by saying, AJK is part of Pakistan. So Pakistan is all Baba going, Gaga. Right. What has Pakistan had to pay in return?
That they won't
It's
tell, sir.
no why it's there. There's nothing for right. They will allow overflights
Mhm.
over into Afghanistan. See, the conundrum is Afghanistan, which is becoming more violent by the day. And
There's been a
Afghanistan,
big blast.
I don't think Pakistan is able to handle Afghanistan. So it
There's
needs
been
us.
a huge blast, sir, as a matter of fact,
Yeah,
where
yeah. They
uh,
see fundamentally the instability is Afghanistan. Pakistan can't handle it. It needs USA. China can't handle it also.
true, true.
And China, the way it is bloody stuck. And its shortcoming, the major shortcoming of China is now coming up. That it can't handle Afghanistan. And Afghanistan is an open wound for it. So all that nonsense, that they will really rule the roost and all is gone down the line. So there's a shift, Pakistan, USA, right? But USA will be transactional in this. The flip side, USA has only done very little to help Pakistan out economically or give flood relief.
Yeah, couple
On
of
that,
million here and there.
Pakistan, yeah, Pakistan is not getting anything from USA on that. So there is a transactional relationship plus minus going on there. Some bonhomie, but cold bonhomie. Now let's look at Pakistan and China. Iron brothers. This is reiterated. We are Iron brothers. Shahbaz Sharif wants to go to Pakistan, China.
China.
Then he went and had a meeting with Xi Jinping in the Shanghai Cooperation of SEO meet at Samarkand. Everything supposed to be hunky dory, okay, but China has not helped Pakistan in the
That's
last,
interesting.
right? They have just, I mean, China is in a bind because it's virtually it has had to roll over debts all over the world. So China is Pakistan is no different, and it's stuck with the CPEC. So there's a dead loss there. Then one more Chinese chap has been killed in somewhere in Karachi or somewhere.
Hmm.
So the old wounds will open up. The Chinese are saying either you protect us or we'll protect ourselves there.
Yeah.
So that
Last
is
maximum
yeah. So that's the last thing.
resort.
So You find that situation has gone a little cold on one side and seemingly normal on the other. So it's a shift, you know, marked shift. Uh, when you look at Pakistan, India, as usual, business or no business as usual. Pakistan knows its economic salvation lies in India, not in China, not in USA. But still, they are riding the high horse. If India wants to talk to us, they have to come to us. If everything, that Bilawal Bhutto has been. This thing. So there's a realization in Pakistan that India is now becoming too big for them, and their salvation lies in India, but they don't have the political or they don't have the guts to do the sensible thing. So, right, but then Pakistan is absolutely up the gum tree.
There's no question.
Corrosive politics, flood situation going back to worse. Flood situation might release, but the aftermath,
No,
economy is
waterborne
gone.
diseases are already there, sir.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So, right, so these three. So, Pakistan is in a difficult situation. Overall, net to net, is Pakistan going forward or coming back? It's coming back. Okay. So, any question about Pakistan? Then we'll shift to.
no, let's just one small thing, sir, because Pakistan will have a. You mentioned that the US will have a transactional relationship, and that's something that is. I think it came out pretty clearly during the meeting between Minister Jaishankar and Anthony
We'll come to
Blinken.
that later. We'll come. We'll talk
Having
of.
said
Don't talk
that,
about it.
having said that, sir, the current situation that you see in terms of what is the purpose of this movement forward with Pakistan?
It's transactional. But USA want it. USA is also wanting to pull Pakistan out of China.
And that's something that we've discussed before.
Yeah, so they'll do it. Never.
Mhm.
They'll ensure that Pakistan doesn't go too close to China, and Pakistan, for its part, has needs the West. That's come out. So, we're okay with Pakistan, and Pakistan has to help them. Otherwise, one thing, the vulnerability of Pakistan lies in their equipment and ammunition they have or don't have. Right? Okay. So, which is the next one?
Let's hit on to China, sir. Uh,
Okay. Yeah, Sin, bolo.
I mean, China, of course, we've discussed China in the last live. We discussed it in depth in terms of its politics and this and that, 20th Party Congress, this, that, whole lot of things. China is going to be under pressure and probably looking inward more than outward. Is that an opportunity to kind of.
Look, again, we'll talk of India later. Let's see the same equations
No,
from
no,
the
no.
Chinese,
For the. Yeah, yeah. Same,
from the
this thing. Is
Chinese,
there an
same
opportunity?
from the Chinese point of view.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The China USA relationship is only going worse. First, okay, uh, over Taiwan, trade, intellectual property, the Chips
Mm.
Act. Take whatever you want, it's going down, right? China is doing all its entire best to hold, USA off. Okay. The issue is both can't do without each other on certain issues, so they're trying to smoothen their edges on that. Okay. So China needs USA more today than the other way around. Okay. If their exports don't go up, China is up a gum tree. Right. Pakistan is slipping away from China from a Chinese perspective. It has to do something to get Pakistan back on its side.
Today there was an announcement for aid.
Aid. What aid? Very little. But
Yeah,
Pakistan, you put your finger into Pakistan, you'll and shake hands with the Pakistani, you might lose your fingers. That's a standard thing.
it's sucked in. True.
So there, from a Chinese perspective, Pakistan is becoming a sinkhole. Can China afford it? At what stage will China take the call that this much and no more? Okay, and given the internal economy of China, can it afford Pakistan? So the shift, and it is because of this shift that Pakistan is veering towards USA. Okay,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
it's okay, but at the end of the day, Pakistan has no other choice but to go to China. China
US
knows
will
that.
not do that much. Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. But the most important consequential relationship for China is with India. That's why you see a lot of people now, even their ambassador said, "Oh, we don't have any great problem with India, which we can't sort out." Their army has said, we are okay enough to sort our problems out. We are mature countries which will sort it out." Everyone now, any Tom, Dick, and Harry from China says, "Look, we'll sort out things with India." You see uptake of Indian news reports in the South China Morning Post, which
Hmm.
have published an article recently. They're talking of a lot of things. They now realize that India is now on a move which in a direction which they don't want. And things haven't gone well with India of late with that Yuan Wang visit to
Hmm.
Ambantota, LSE
SEO.
activities, SEO, everything. So, and that they're trying to repair. Okay. And given the fact that our economies are moving in the opposite direction, ours is going up and theirs is coming down. Okay. So they realize that they have to, they if they don't, they have a problem. They have a problem. They have a, I mean, let's be, so that is why this thing. So there's a shift. The From the Chinese perspective, there's a marked shift towards India. There's a marked shift towards Pakistan. Right? I mean, don't get taken up by words. Words mean very
Hmm.
little. What they
Hmm.
talk.
Hmm. Hmm.
Actions, actions. Okay, the outreach. Why did they climb down at Gogra and Hot Springs? I went back. So they're offering you the carrot, right? So that's China, right? Uh, of course, China is very worried about the USA giving all the help to Taiwan, and that's on. More congressmen also have visited Taiwan. Arms deals are going on, everything. So USA has put them on the back foot, really. Okay. And of course, all this is happening. China is going through its own criticality in the 20th Party Congress, about which I've just written we've discussed about it in the last time. I've written an article and just floated it out. Okay. So China has a vulnerability today. Right? And I'll not talk more about China. So the equations are shifting there. How it goes, we'll see.
Interesting, guys. Before we move forward, I'm going to be running out of questions on this particular subject. I'm sure there'll be more coming up, but I'd like you to start pounding in your questions. I'll start the questions about 5 or 10 minutes. Please do start hitting in your questions so that I can kind of put them in line and as to how it can be put across. Please do hit the like button. That is very critical for me to reach larger audiences. Check your subscriptions and yes, do contribute to Dev Talks. To visit the website is getting built up slowly, slowly, slowly. Have a check at that. A lot of the archives have been built up there, so you can actually go through older videos, sifted through with subjects and everything like that. So now the biggest subject. Now India will have choices in front of it.
Well,
Just
we have not finished USA. We'll go to
okay.
USA, then we'll
Let's.
come to
I
India.
I basically what I wanted to say was so USA fair enough, but India is going to be bang in the center of this entire game.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
come to, because finally we'll
So
come back to India.
let's look at the
Because,
USA. USA today is a, in your opinion, of course, there's a lot happening in Europe. There's going to be probably a European hook on to them because the crisis in Europe. It's gonna have to try and rebalance the entire thing. Till now, it was clear India, we are partners, we are this, we are that, we are this, we are that. Is the USA sending any messages towards us?
yeah, let's see one by one again. You know, USA is quite focused on China. On that, there's no doubt. Whether it's economic, trade, or military or diplomatic, there is a it's very focused on China, and it's not letting up. In fact, the pressure is more. It is also targeting the Russia-China axis, and it knows that weakening Russia means weakening China. It's at it. Okay. Interesting thing. It's now getting Pakistan on its side. Why? Wants to weaken China. I- Pakistan is suddenly realizing there are too many leverages with the USA against it, and USA has now started using those leverages, right? So there's a and of course it's ensuring that Pakistan stays the course for US interests in Afghanistan, right? Like I said, USA is playing it very transactionally and ensuring that Pakistan behaves. And it has shown that Pakistan doesn't have any other choice but to behave the way it wants, USA wants. It is showing it day by day. Okay. Now look at Pakistan, US, India. Naturally, US is moved to the India. Strategic partnership or not, the way India has moved as per its this thing, a strategic partnership with the USA of sorry, India being a strategic partner of the USA, and its equation with Russia has not pleased USA at all. So
Hmm.
it is showing the Pakistani card to you. You be good with Russia, I'll be good with thing, and I will make my ambassador talk of AJK. It is not just a foolish talk. Okay, he's giving you a message. Let's be very clear about it. Okay, but the larger issue is they're not losing sight. Both India and USA are focusing on China. As far as China, they are on the same page. It is the Ukraine and Russia issue which they have a problem. And of course, USA will be worried that India shouldn't toe its own line ultimately, right? So they will do. There'll be a push and pull on this. So let's be prepared for it. We should be prepared that things won't be hunky dory with the USA. I mean, I hope you got the US angle clear.
Yeah, a lot of articles will be written. That's all I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, that's okay. Articles will be written. And look, it needs analysis. It's not a That's why I said, look, when I told you today evening that let's tackle this quadrilateral, it is complicated. You have to understand it each from each perspective.
No, as a matter of fact,
Now,
one thing that one can see is also USA. Well, it is playing that game, but instead of kind of being proactive, USA is also being lot more reactive in its approach because it is having to build the story as the end goal. Of course, is clear, and that's what you've also put across very clearly. But it is building the steps as it's going. It's not
yeah,
a
because the problem with USA is it has got too many actions going on. It's got an action going on against Russia. It's got something against China. Afghanistan is popping up. It has its
North Korea is
attention
popping up.
is yeah. So it has got more potatoes in the oven, and
Iran, North
it
Korea,
has
yeah, a
yeah.
lot of
Iran is
actions.
also so there are a lot of things. But then again, now that you mentioned Iran, to tackle Iran, it needs India. So
No
there's going
question.
to be a blow hot, blow cold between India and uh, USA. So now let's look at it from the Indian perspective. Where do we stand? Right? From many perspectives, we are in a sweet spot. We're still in a sweet spot. Pakistan, India, that situation won't change. We know that we got upper hand today, and Pakistan is stuck. Okay, if you forget about the irritants of what these fellows are talking and this visit of the chief to this thing, Pakistan has got no. It's getting weaker by the day.
Hmm.
So be patient. What's the hurry? Right? We don't. China is wooing you. Let's be clear. and you are strengthening your hand against China. So there's an option opening up there. Okay, USA is giving you some kind of a message, and you are also giving them a message that look, I'm not totally dependent on you. That article
Mm.
today in South China Morning Post is interesting. Friend to none and friend to all. So you are playing a multi game. Okay. Uh, so you have to be very clear as to what you want to do. Okay. At the end of the day, we have to answer only one question: are Indian national interests being met?
Yeah. Hmm.
If the answer is yes, the rest is QED. And so far, I think we are meeting our national interests without sacrificing. Right? So, I think we are doing the right thing. We are on the right track for many reasons. With these three countries, I'm not talking of everything else. With these three countries, I think in this quadrilateral, uh, if I say which is the one which is most balanced in this quadrilateral, it is India. People might think I'm being nationalistic or playing an India thing. No, you look at it absolutely um, without any bias. You'll see India is in the best spot. Okay, so this is what I've had to say today,
I
and
I kind of have a
y-
question, sir. Now,
uh,
India has a position today where it is able to actually put across its word, and we've done that in no simple terms. As a matter of fact, when
yeah,
those interactions with Minister Jay Shankar were happening, I was actually thinking to the back of my head, what is the topic that these guys are going to pick up and this time hit India with? So it's something that we all knew. The way that certain answers were given, there is going to be a pushback from that side. Now the question comes to a very simple thing, because these are tactical things. One army chief को एक guard of honor दे
yeah,
दिया,
yeah.
ये वो, they're all very tactical maneuvers. Being that USA's relationship with Pakistan is going to be transactional, being that USA's relationship with China is going to get even more tense going forward, being that USA is going to get split up within the European theater, India will find itself in a place where I think a lot of busyness around and a sort of a clarity within us. So a lot of people may call this pressure. I
I
call it a
don't think so.
lot of
I
path
told
opening,
you,
as a matter of
I
fact.
you know, I told you that we are in a sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
We are playing our game well. We are stable, right? So, and we are not involved deeply in any of these problems.
Yeah.
We know how to handle China now, and China is weak today. Let's be very clear. And the big thing is, which I've been telling always, China is internally focusing, Pakistan is internally focusing. Best time for India, and that's what been there for the past 4 5 months.
Yeah. They're
So
all going to be
continue.
looking inward and towards
Yeah,
their
yeah,
own
yeah. There's no doubt.
core interests,
They
as they
have
say.
their core interests are being threatened internally today. So
And
what's better
externally,
for
yeah.
you than your adversaries looking inward? Okay, you can then build up your power, and it, remember what I told you in the beginning. Economic power translates into political power and vice versa. There it
That is
is.
the reason why Pakistanis are
Yeah.
not respected, is because of.
So today your economic power is increasing, your political power is increasing. As simple as that. Okay. And as an extension, your military power also has to increase. So if you take this construct into hard power into account, I think we are quite stable. Yeah.
Fair enough, sir. Let's pound into the questions, and
Yeah.
guys, just start up with your questions. I have some. With the amount of people that are there online, it's a little. I'd like us to start pushing in the questions. I've got some interesting ones, but before I do, as I said, hit the like button. That is most critical for this video to reach a larger and larger audience. I also want to take a moment, sir. Let me just show this one gentleman, Srinivas, who
Yeah,
wishes us
Srinivas.
a
Thanks a lot,
salute and a
Srinivas.
namaste. He's actually got the first comment in every video, sir.
Yeah,
So thank you,
yeah.
Srinivas. It's really a this thing, and the minute we switch on, the first comment comes right there. Salute Lieutenant General Ravi Shankar and Namaste. It's always a very nice thing to see. Right, let's move forward. I think the Chinese people themselves are slipping away from China.
Yeah, I think that's a very important comment he's made. There's a fracture happening between the Chinese people and Chinese government or the CCP,
Yeah.
and it's just started. It'll take. I mean, I'm going to analyze it in a few days, but it's happening.
It'll take some time if there's anything that is
Yeah,
supposed
yeah,
to
they will
happen, but
take time. It's
yeah,
not going to be in a hurry,
it's not
but
an overnight show.
there's a shift happening. Like I said, China has got huge internal problems today.
Mr. Girish says, your opinion on the US ambassador of Pakistan calling POK as AJK.
Yeah, they'll do it. I told you why he's done it. It was deliberately done by USA. It is giving us a message, as simple as that. Well, that's part of what shall I say? International geopolitics.
In such cases, sir, is there a the maturity would be to hold back, analyze, and then respond? Or
It's a waste of time trying to tell no. USA shouldn't have done it. USA will
no,
do
no,
it.
no. Let them do it. We can't stop them. I'm saying
Wait,
how should
you'll
the
get your opportunity.
yeah.
What's the hurry? How
No, I mean
what's the hurry? You'll get your opportunity. Give it back to them.
that is there. So if you can sit in Washington and talk about the Ye City wala
Yeah, yeah,
newspapers,
yeah.
obviously something's
You
going to
you can
happen.
talk. I mean, there is no problem. Yeah.
Kiran says, general, your comment on the Armenia deal.
Yeah, it's just an arms deal. They want your equipment. You sold it to them. End of story.
How does this play into the geopolitical
It
game?
doesn't play at all, as far as I'm concerned.
Azerbaijan?
No, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is,
A lot
we
of
shouldn't read too much into it.
yeah, a lot of people actually say that the Azeris are very close to Pakistanis, so it's
That's okay. That is
transfer.
that I don't think we should get involved with all that.
Please elaborate why weakening of Russia weakens China. I would have
Because this,
thought Russia is separate and its advantages to keep Russia out of China's influence.
yeah, if you keep Russia out of China's influence, or automatically China is weakened, isn't it? The answer lies in the question itself. The answer lies in the question itself. If Russia is weak, China doesn't get technology, China doesn't get energy. As simple as that. There are huge this thing, and China then gets isolated beautifully. So the answer is in that question. It's a self-answering question.
It is, but is this what is happening?
It'll happen sooner or later. It's a matter of time. It's just a matter
Let's
of time.
let's flip this question the other way around, sir. How
Yeah,
do you look at it?
it will happen.
No, no. Let's flip this question the other way around. If China weakens, how does it affect Russia?
Russia will collapse tomorrow. Who'll buy its oil? Who'll buy its gas? Who'll
Gas.
buy its
Oil to
who'll
we'll
buy
buy, but gas.
who'll buy its technology?
Gas is the main thing which is gonna.
There are a lot of problems. Let's be very clear. Both are today interdependent powers. One goes down the line, the other gets isolated. Right?
That's true.
So yeah, what is happening in Russia has already weakened Xi Jinping's hand internally.
And
There are a lot
externally.
of questions, yeah, and externally. So it's very obvious actually. Yeah.
A lot of people are saying Putin did it Jan caters to weaken
Yeah,
China
that's okay.
because
Whether
that's a
no,
good
no.
joke. That's a good joke. That's all. Retired Pakistani generals get to settle in Australia, Canada, UK, and America. Does the CIA extract sensitive information from them, especially about
I
Pakistani nukes?
I don't know. That's something which they have to answer between themselves.
So I
Honestly,
mean,
beyond
there's a big
beyond my
news
pay
that
scale.
okay. On a lighter note, sir, let me just put this across. It was a big flash that came out that said that and I put it on the group also that Bajwa has gone there to figure out how to get US citizenship and then get settled in there and stuff like that. I mean, I thought it was a joke, but you never know. These guys are.
Yeah, we don't know. This is something which no one will tell you, and no one will. So we leave it at
Parachale
that.
Bajwa is planning to invest into a
We
DHA
don't
in
know. We don't know what's it. Look, these we don't know. So let's not call.
On a lighter vein, sir. I mean, this
Yeah,
is
yeah, I
not a
understand.
geopolitical question, but anyways, thank you, Mr. Venki, for that super chat. Neutrality means standing apart from contending parties or ideologies so that everyone will trust you. It is a means to an end, not an end itself.
Yeah, I agree with him. I agree with Venki totally. The point is, what is your end? You have to be clear when you're neutral. That's the point.
National
And
interest.
yeah, your interest has to be met. If that's the end, then the rest is QED. If your interest is not met, it is not in your interest to be neutral either.
I
If
think
you're,
we
n-
are we are we
you
are
cannot be
somewhere.
a, you are not neutral, you are not aligned, right? You're
Yeah.
neither non-aligned, you're not neutral. You are on a case-to-case basis. You take sides. You swing. And
Mm.
that's why uh, traditionally India has been called a swing state. You swing. You have to swing. You have no choice. Okay. You have to hedge. You have the strength to hedge. You have to hedge. And again, I'll get back to that article. We are a friend to none. You're a friend to all. Yeah. I think Adi has gone off for some reason.
No, no, no,
Yeah, he's
sir.
getting
Sorry,
bang. Yeah,
it
yeah.
just got,
No, no, no,
yeah,
no, no. No,
it
that's
just
okay.
got
Yeah.
cut up. My
Mm.
apologies to everyone.
Yeah.
Right. Satyam asks, I'm worried that USA will one day start going after India also, especially if they have dealt with Russia and China.
I think that day is very far off. Very far off. Okay. At some point of time, you have to realize that USA can't do without India. And I'm not talking, trade, shade, and all. Something beyond that. And given the fact that the weight of the Indian community in USA, that will take time.
So, a lot of, I was
Look,
reading the other
I
day.
mean, wait, Adi, wait.
Hmm.
See, once upon a time, the Jewish community had a huge voice in USA, and they supported Israel. Slowly, you are becoming something like that, but with greater weight. So, getting after India will not be so easy for America. Yeah,
In foreign policy, I was reading an article the other day that USA has basically made China in terms of its manufacturing
yeah, there's no
power and
doubt.
stuff like that.
Everything. Yeah, now letting them down. As simple as
Yeah,
that.
and that's what they were comparing, and the author basically compared the situation where India is today and China. And I found it to be very frugal. But how do
Look,
you kind of look at it, sir?
no, 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 no. See, this is the normal construct which people think will happen. The world made China, and the world will unmake China. That's fine. Let that. If you think the similar thing will happen to India, it cannot happen. It cannot happen for the simple reason your bloody Twitter CEO today is an Indian, your
The
Microsoft CEO is an
basic point.
Indian. Right? Half your CEOs in USA are Indian. There's a weight to India. The vice president of USA has got Indian origin. She talks of already breaking coconuts in Chennai temple after she became vice president. So there is a difference between what you're talking of India and what you're talking of
China.
China. Okay. Oh, I don't think that will ever happen. Like I told you, that's the equation with Israel and the similarity between Israel and India. India is slowly becoming a bigger Israel as far as China is concerned. Yeah, as far as USA is concerned.
Guys, just a food for thought for everybody. The whole Afghanistan game was called the Great Game. What would this game be called? Open for suggestions.
Well,
Please
it
do
can
think
be
about
called
it.
anything.
Yeah.
Many
So
Taraf
open
said
for
can,
suggestions.
yeah.
Think about it. Put your creative juice to this thing, and if something comes up, please do write to us. Is it looking like an era of Cold War 2.0 coming?
No, it's not. It is. Yeah, I agree with you. It's going to happen. The next 5, 10 years are going to be difficult for
Very tough.
everyone. Yeah.
Especially when the economy goes down by next year, and that's what.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of economies are going to roil, and we're going to have a lot of pain coming ahead. We're going to have a lot of pain coming ahead. The only economy which will actually go through all this is Indian economy, with whatever it is. Yeah, there will be Cassandra opinions on Indian economy.
Yeah,
The
that's
strength
fine.
of the Indian economy is its people. It's the people who make the economy, and I think today Indian people are far stronger than what they were before. All of
Indeed.
us. Yeah.
Sir, Pakistan will try and balance both USA and China
Oh well,
relations.
there's a I Girish. They will do it. There will be no headache. Pakistan ke liye, they don't know where they're getting the next meal from. Forget about military supplies.
And I think you said this earlier. I don't think the US will go that far. It's
No, no,
basically
I don't
messaging,
think.
and just take it as that.
We
And do
should
nothing.
stop talking of Pakistan as a threat anymore.
Yeah,
My view.
it's a nuisance more than anything
या
else.
इट्स ए न्यूज़ है और है ना तो इमरान खान है वो आ जाएगा वो सॉर्ट आउट करेगा पाकिस्तान व्हाई वी सो पाकिस्तान centric
Yeah, yeah.
actually
Right
don't
now,
talk of look let me be Adi if you've seen for the past one and a half months I've not written a single article about Pakistan I don't want to waste my time on it
the story will
finished
only start by the end of this month when the army
yeah
chief
we'll
का
see
कुछ होगा.
yeah
Otherwise, कुछ नहीं होने वाला वहाँ पर.
uh,
It will be another story, another day, and that is just about it. Adi and Janan Shankar, both of you are doing a commendable job. Good luck in your endeavors. Thank you so
thank
much.
you
I
thanks
hope you're not from Mars, but anyways, Satyam, India should never ever allow US Navy to access the Andamans.
should
Why not?
yeah we'll see it's a case to case basis
Indeed. The US ambassador's comment on POK. I think we've covered this,
yeah
but
we don't talk to
yeah,
There's not there's a non-issue as far as I'm concerned.
yeah. So it's basically messaging, as Sir said
It's a
before.
messaging. It's
Yeah.
messaging. Yeah.
So West is giving Nobel Prize to Mohammad Zubair to control India's political cloud. Well,
Yeah, you can
okay.
keep up. You can keep talking of all this. It doesn't make a
They're not
difference.
giving a Nobel Prize. It's just on the list, and anybody can be on that list. It's
Yeah,
not
that's
that.
okay. I have no.
Don't worry about that.
Hmm.
Right. Boulder 99. India and Pakistan had a ceasefire, but terrorists are still active. Does the ceasefire at all
I
help?
let's not waste time with Pakistan. Waste of time. Pakistan is a good waste of time.
It is indeed an irritant, I must say.
That's all. No, there'll be some terrorist activity, some ceasefire violations, and all. That's all. Nothing more. It can't go beyond that.
Ceasefire violations. Are?
No, it might be max. That's it.
If India US ties dip in temperature, kindly assess the impact, positive or negative, on India's relationship with France, Israel, Japan, given US's historical influence with them. A little bit of elaboration if possible.
Ah, with France, you see, ideally, if you look at it, France has always had an independent policy. Okay, and France exercises its policy independently. I think, in terms of policy and in terms of growth, everything, that's a good path to follow. Okay, if India can take that cue from France and shape its policy in a manner which France does,
It's an
it'll be good.
independent.
Yeah,
Hmm.
independent. Uh, as far as Japan is concerned, Japan didn't follow US, you know, cues when it helped India in the last century. Okay, that is the time when India and USA were at daggers drawn, but Japan and Indian relations were gone. So I don't think uh, Japan and USA are going to listen to each other beyond a point.
Even
You
Israel,
also
the
have
same story.
you also have to understand at a point of time Japan itself was considered a threat to USA. Yeah. So let's not that Israel is followed from a long time now. It is following its own policy, and is ever since the Middle East settlement has taken place, the value of Israel has gone down. So I think we are okay. But the fact which I would like to take home from here is how can we handle things the way France does? There's a lot to learn.
France has always been a maverick of sorts. It's
It's
done
not Maverick.
charted.
Look, it's not Maverick. It's a great power, and it's a
It started his
exercise.
own way,
It
always.
has its own way.
Yeah.
A Maverick is Pakistan. A maverick is Israel to a large extent.
Yeah, of course.
France
Okay,
has
wrong choice of
been a
words,
very
but
stable power.
they
Yeah,
they they've always started their own kind of game where they
yeah, that I
wanted to.
agree. They've had their independent policies.
I think that's a very good example to bring about. Thanks so much,
Chitness.
Mr. V. Chitness. Mr. Balaji says another few questions, gentlemen. So if anyone firing questions coming up, please send it across. And of
Yeah,
course,
well, I the way I look at it, we didn't need not have taken a. Why should we make USA happy? We are not here to make USA happy. We are here to make India happy. If India is happy by taking whatever stand it's taken, let's be happy about it. End of story.
Mr.
Yeah,
Balaji, I'd like to actually ask you a small question, sir, if you permit me. That a lot of countries have made US happy by actually voting for it. What have they got? A sinking
nothing.
economy? Food for
Yeah,
thought. Does weakening of Russia affect India? China gets weak, so does India, isn't it?
no, it doesn't affect us. It doesn't affect us at all.
It'll be actually, I mean, Russia will be more wanting to do business with us
Then
if it gets.
it's fine.
US may not be in a position to action against
Yeah,
India
I
a
think
la
that's a
frontier.
fair one. They're also in trouble. They are not exactly going up.
And if US is smart enough of getting the
Look,
same accreditation back,
many of these things we have to wait for at least a decade for things
yeah,
to
to
pan
open
out.
out.
Yeah,
I
like
think,
I
yeah,
said,
that's
we are going in a flux. In this flux, it's very difficult to make a clear-headed idea about what's happening.
you won't believe this. I was just about to use the exact same word. This is the time of flux
Hmm.
where a lot of things will change and
Change,
the
yeah, I
actual,
agree.
the whole game will fall into place in some time. It's not
Yeah,
something,
it's
you
yeah,
know, the whole geopolitics is going to change. Trivia: the official US media briefing with Park's UAS in the US was called off. Yes, it
maybe.
was. Yes, it was. And there's going to be an official readout or some sort. Suman says this game is greater game. Okay, and had a lot more complicated than Cold War 1.0.
Yeah,
Indeed,
we are a
yeah.
part of it for because in the Cold War one we didn't have a role to play. Today you're in the game. You have to learn how to play this game.
Right. So last three questions, quick ones. India has been a swing state between Russia and US. Is there a chance at some
No
distant
way.
point in time where India will play this between China and USA?
No way. Because you have a problem with China, it will always you will not swing between USA and China. In fact, we have no choice.
China is not going to sort out your border
Yeah,
issues unless a coconut
yeah.
cracks on the heads of all the CPC members. So, and that's not going to happen very soon. Right. Did we go overboard in giving a cold shoulder to US in our Russia relations? And now by seeing the news, I can feel US is rubbing salt
No,
back
I don't. No, no, I don't think
India
so.
by closing up to Pakistan.
I no, no. These are all very transitory affairs. I told you why, so we shouldn't
I think
overreact.
Ravi Shankar has mentioned it twice, and I'd like to retrace it, sir, with your permission. National interest. It may be rubbing shoulders or cold shoulders or warm shoulders with
So be
anyone.
it.
So be it. That's the
So be it.
main exact thing
Yeah, yeah. So be
that
it.
we need to look at. Mr. Kode says China's economy is like a skyscraper built fast to cater to current economic needs. India's economy is like a mountain, originally ground based on an ecosystem. Skyscrapers has limits, but not a mountain.
Yeah, maybe good. I'm glad you looking at that way.
Okay, I'm getting quite, guys. Those of you who are in the chat, please help me block this particular user who's asking for a dating site. I don't think any one of us are interested to do that, right? All right. Second last, it says our most critical national interests are securing semiconductors and jet engines.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. You should know how to. It's not the end of the world. Not having a semiconductor or not having jet engine is not the end of the world. Well, there you need to have them, but if you have alternate technologies, you can trade for them. Our problem is we neither have other technologies nor this. That is why we are suffering.
And Mr. Kiran, the last comment for the show, it says Bajwa went in for a green card.
From my side, he can go for a black card also. It doesn't matter me a sausage. Let him go where he wants.
Guys, a funny thing, I must say that Pakistan has been, spoken about quite a bit. And as a matter of fact, the story in Pakistan remains the same. Sir, would you agree? There's
Yeah,
nothing new. I mean,
they are in a problem, and we leave it at that. They are up a gum tree. Mark my words, these things will keep happening, but Pakistan is having a huge problem.
on that note, sir, I'd let you go. You have a heavy day ahead tomorrow, and thank you so much for joining us today. Gentlemen who on the audience, thank you so much. Before you sign off, please do check your subscriptions, hit the like button, and of course make sure that you pass on the message about dev talks to your friends and stuff like that. If you do want to join in the dev talks WhatsApp group, please send me a mail with your with your contact number and some way for me to verify you are who you are. I've been getting a bit of a spam coming in from the neighborhood, and some of you have I've shown it to. Some of you I don't want to show some of the stuff because it's a little bit of a not very very pleasant and pleasing to read. Having said that, please do make an effort to join this particular group. Some very very interesting thoughts which are flying around there. Some people put out very very good information, and I'm actually quite happy to myself be a part of that group. Thank you so much, sir. Once again, till next time for another subject. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind. Thank you.